about at 4 a.m. and when the winds turned on, it was almost like someone flipped a switch, went from calm to this very quickly, and it hasn't let up since. You can see the effect that this wind has had on some of the waves out there. Still very dangerous beach conditions. This is the only gas station on the island, so once you're out of fuel, you're out. These are the old cans that were used for recycling, but these new roll-off containers can hold 100 times more oyster shells. So this is milkweed, and believe it or not, just one monarch butterfly caterpillar can devour an entire plant just by itself. We can expect a dry, albeit very cold day. I've been out here for 2 hours now, and I have to say it is getting pretty chilly. So if you have to be outside today, prepare for those gusty winds, those much cooler temperatures as that very cold air rolls in after the storm. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to the tropics, Hurricane Ingrid. You can see on our satellite imagery just how close it is to the coast of Mexico here. It has been creeping towards the coast. It's set to make landfall just north of Tampico, just several hundred miles away from where Tropical Storm Fernand hit. And this storm is also looking to produce pretty heavy rainfall. Here's a quick look at some of the rainfall video that we have already from Ingrid. An additional 10 to 15 inches expected from this storm. Well, Anna, one of the biggest things that we've been seeing are some of those downed limbs. So I took a walk just around Union Point Park. And within walking distance, here's what I found. Now, some of these don't look that big. You can see one or two of them, just kind of dead branches that we're seeing. But the one that I really want to point out is this branch right here. I found it just a few feet away from one of the big pine trees. It's still alive, still has pine cones. And when I found it, I don't know if you can see it here, we had grass. This was shoved into the ground from those fast winds. And those winds were the first thing that we saw from that storm as it barreled on through overnight. Then we saw those heavy downpours, sheets of rain. In fact, we're still seeing some flooding. Don't worry, I've got my waterproof boots on. A lot of this has already begun to drain, but we've been seeing several inches. So as you're getting ready and heading out the door today, there's still just a little bit of ponding and pooling from that. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is the fact that these winds are still very fast, not just at the surface, but aloft as well. I've been keeping my eye up at the sky. We're already beginning to see some clearing. You can see the moon there, and those clouds are just racing. In fact, the winds up there are just screaming. And one thing that we were watching last night when the storm rolled through was the fact that the winds closer to the surface were going one direction, and then just aloft they were going faster and at a different direction. And that causes something called spin or shear for meteorologists. It's one of the reasons why this storm was so strong as it rolled on through. Now, luckily for us, it passed through in the overnight hours. I know that might have made a few people apprehensive, but it really limited the intensity and overall the damage of this storm. So as you're getting up, watch for those limbs, watch for power lines, watch for ponding, but otherwise we could have definitely fared a lot worse.
Is meteorologist Ellen Baca.
Well, good evening and welcome back. If we put these storms into motion over the last hour and a half, you can see that line that I was telling you about, originally setting up as a sea breeze, but now all that heavy tropical air has kind of allowed these storms coming in off the ocean to ride along that boundary and just stay there all day. So it hasn't really moved inland. Another thing that I do want to point out is we do have a significant amount of lightning just now moving to the north of Topsail Beach. Jacksonville, again, get ready. Havelock seeing a heavy shower move towards you as well. Half Moon, brief recovery before more rain moves in. New Bern, River Bend, James City seeing an aerial flood advisory as well. This was just issued by the National Weather Service. Included in that a good portion of Pamlico County as well because of that shower that's tracked on through. Up north near Belhaven, seeing some of that heavy rain begin to peter out. You'll notice the Washington Chocowinity area also seeing the same story. Now in the next hour and a half to 2 hours, our future radar is taking these showers in the same trajectory that they've been going all day. Very slowly, only at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and they're tracking northeast. They kind of have that positive tilt with them. So in terms of rainfall, if you've been getting it today, anticipate more. That means New Bern already up near 2 inches. In fact, already setting a new daily record maximum for the day. But check out some of these other rain totals. Kenansville, Kinston, less than 1/10 of an inch today. I had some Facebook friends tell me that they've seen nothing. Showers to the left, showers to the right, but nothing in their own backyard. And if you look at the temperatures today, there's no question that we got some sunshine to break through the clouds. Greenville, Kinston, even New Bern hitting 88 before the day was done. Temperatures are going to be dropping down into the 70s. Our winds will be out of the south. Overall, we'll watch these storms eventually fall apart, but coastal areas, you might not be clear all night. And here's why. Here's a look at your satellite and radar. We'll zoom way out here. There's that storm system that passed through us yesterday, leaving behind a lot of moisture, and here are more of those coastal showers. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had this rain continue on for a good portion of the evening, especially for our coastal regions, but eventually losing some of that intensity and hopefully losing some of that lightning as well. In terms of what to expect future track-wise, our models are having a tough one with this one, but I'll just show you it just in case. Here's 6 o'clock on through 7. Here's 8. Notice how it wants to get rid of the showers very quickly. Again, I'm not so sure that that's going to happen. I think that we're going to be dealing with rain for a while this evening.